So Preston, what should we do for a cold open?
Well, I'm thinking we should probably do something really intelligent to kind of, bring out the topic at hand.
Suspended. Hello, I'm Adam.
Am I allowed to talk now?
Yes, yeah, you're good.
I'm Preston.
Today we're going to be talking about Twitter as they are working on a lot of improvements. They do have their new CEO who has an interesting background. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Kind of the enforcement of block lists and a few other things that they're doing. And Preston, you read up on it too.
So what Twitter is trying to do is that they have a search function / ability for you to manage your feed, as all social media do, and you can create block keywords and lists and people to make sure that if you see things that are upsetting to you or you're not interested in, you can get rid of them with level of loopholes. So there have been a few people that have found their ways, especially through like events was one of the things that people got in through. Was that people that you kicked out of your feed have a few ways to slide back in, and Twitter, I imagine through complaints, was like, let's see if we can just iron out the loopholes that exist on the platform.
Facebook, Twitter, etc. They all want to keep you on the platform. And as a marketing manager, like you're also you're feeding into that system. You're trying to help people stay on the platform, interact with your brand, do that type of engagement. But ultimately, they are going to feed people content that they interact with, that are engaging, and ultimately, to a certain extent, level of incitement, right? Like there's this level of, oh yeah, we're gonna always hit this and get excited, or especially if there's like weird things, we're like, why is there like 200 comments on this, right? Like whatever gets the most engagement, attention, comments, likes, shares, etc. Okay, well that must be engaging topics. But those are usually the ones that can blow up the most, and in good ways and bad ways.
Yes. Alternatively, and kind of parallel to that, is that as you're seeing this content that gets showed and viewed, and Twitter building a system to keep people on, the customization of the feeds becomes another issue. Twitter's been really good for that. Facebook is most notably known for that, which also plays into Instagram. TikTok also is really huge on your feed is tailored and curated to you over time. So with Twitter, it's not only is the content keeping you there, is the stuff you're seeing, even if everything's not a hit, enough that you will keep staying on and encourage you to keep scrolling. Why would I get 15 minutes of your time when I can have an hour?
Exactly. And so then when we look at the idea of, how do we navigate this? If we are not careful, we are just going to find ourselves in a echo chamber of everyone with the same ideas, the same thoughts. And I see this in the circles that I hop in terms of search engine optimization or website design, marketing. There's a lot of echo chambers where if I'm trying to see, what are some cutting edge techniques? What are people doing? Those are going to be on the outside edge of what Twitter is going to provide to me. And so I have to go out and seek that. And that's where it really comes into play to avoid that echo chamber and to navigate away from it, right? Because you're getting away from essentially Twitter's censorship.
Yeah. The political sphere, not to get into anything specific, is really where we see this and a lot of the echo chamber rhetoric comes from, especially if you are seeing things that go against your inherent bias. Even more so, especially the way things are now written and crafted to get that viral content, it's kind of more exaggerated. Political news is just hilariously exaggerated to upset you or excite you to a ludicrous degree. And it riles up people to the point where your only option is to create the large fortress of I'm never going to leave my echo chamber.
And that being said, when we look at navigating through Twitter censorship, because censorship comes in all forms, whether it's feeding you specific types of information or feeding you not information, right? There's going to be some prioritization that the platform itself is going to do. Like that in and of itself is a form of censorship. And what's fascinating is the new CEO. There's videos of him doing talks at MIT or other locations and saying that, hey, internet speech is free. It is very accessible. Anyone can do it. So Twitter's job moving forward is shaping whose voices get prioritized. And so we're gonna see that shift in that personality. And we've even seen new bans coming through Twitter. We've seen new suspensions coming through Twitter. We've seen this type of activity, mostly given from complaints, trying to, once again, prioritize those conversations. So what we are recommending for everyone in that place is to, if you can, hop on Twitter Spaces. It's actually a lot of fun. It's kind of similar to the Clubhouse features, but especially if you already have an audience, it's really easy to harness that audience in it. The other thing is to go and search out new hashtags. If you haven't been creating your Twitter lists or activating into those, go make some new Twitter lists. It's actually really powerful. And lastly, and you've probably seen this a little bit, is go and comment.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's a lot of people, especially social media managers and marketing managers who say, oh yeah, we just post. That doesn't cut it anymore. And we've seen this a lot for our own personal profiles, but then also our branded account profiles, where if you just go and comment, engage with others, we're getting hundreds of views, not only on our tweets, but into our profiles and website traffic. Just by saying, hello, hi, that's interesting. And you don't have to like expound, you don't have to do like a 5-tweet reply, please don't. But if you're at least engaging with people outside of your usual Twitter sphere, you can get out of that censorship and outside of the normal cycle of that feed.
In a world that has been run amok by very sinister, automated, robotic, artificial intelligence programs, this is your opportunity to engage and rip back your humanity by liking, commenting, and subscribing.
Absolutely, and if you haven't done that for Pullman Marketing, we'd love for you to like, comment, subscribe. If you have questions on Twitter on how to market or do anything, drop it in below. We would love to have that conversation, or feel free to give us a call.
And with all that said, we will see you next time on your Weekly Social.